Hi, my name is Alyssa Nastasi. I'm the Assistant Director of the Career Center here at St. Martin's University, and I will turn it over to our guests to allow them to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Mary Bartsch. I'm the Assistant Superintendent for the Diocese of Phoenix, and I oversee curriculum, preschool, and special education.
Hello, my name is Melissa Rodriguez. I am the administrative assistant to the assistant superintendents in the Diocese of Phoenix, and I handle all our talent management system, which is the system that people use to hire. I answer questions, I call to screen candidates, and so that's my role.
Great, thank you. Well, can you tell me a little bit about your district?
The Diocese of Phoenix is an incredible diocese. We, first of all, Bishop Olmsted is our leader, and we have 29 Catholic elementary schools, with 25 of those having preschools. We have 4 standalone preschools and 6 incredible high schools located nearly in every part of the valley. While every Catholic school community is unique, each offers a rigorous curriculum while educating the total child in mind, body, and spirit. And we have a loving, faith-filled environment in each one of our schools.
Great, thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about your normal hiring process, what the timeline for that looks like?
Yeah, so our open positions are posted year-round, and we have a really great turnaround time. So usually within 2 days of a candidate applying, we reach out to them to schedule a screening. Given the circumstances currently, our screenings are all done virtual or by phone. They're usually anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, just to make sure that it's a good fit. From there, it moves on to the schools to look at all of the candidates that have applied and, move on to the next step, which would be an interview. So as of right now, really since January, we started hiring for the upcoming school year, and we will just continue that until we find all of the candidates that we need. But positions are open really year round, because there might be a circumstance at a school where we need to fill positions quickly, something unexpected. So we always have opportunities for certified and classified people.
Great. And what are you looking for in these new hires? Some of the qualities that you want to see?
Well, a new hire, any teacher should have a love for learning and a love for students. And they themselves should not only want to be a teacher, but be a learner, especially nowadays when we've had to go from being in a classroom to online learning. So having that flexibility and having that love of learning and being able to try new things are important. Also being faith-filled, someone who is organized, professional, a good communicator, a good collaborator, willing to be a part of a team. That's so important now in teaching, and especially communicating not only in person, but being able to communicate online, and maybe having some online skills. What's really great is we're seeing our candidates who are coming from colleges, who are recent graduates, who've done online classes. And so they have that experience in that. And today with distant learning, of course, it's being able to use, are they familiar, or do they have any experience with using Google Classroom, or being able to have Zoom meetings or GoTo meetings? Have they used things like Flipgrid or any of the other resources that are out there? So again, and also when you're applying for a position, do you have the experience, or have you had student teaching in any of those areas? Like if you were going into science, have you taught, or have you had student teaching in a science classroom? That's what we're looking for.
Great.
Thank you.
And what about the application materials? What stands out for you with resumes and cover letters?
So in a resume or a cover letter, I would suggest that the candidates that's where they sell themselves. You know, put in the information that shows that they have the knowledge for the position that they're applying for. In your cover letter, make sure that you put, and you not only put what you've done currently, but what have you done in your past to help build yourself up for that position. If you're going to go into a position, into a high school position, what exactly have you done to prepare yourself for that position? And make sure that you address your application towards that spot. Also, if you have your references, make sure that your references are people that can speak about you teaching or speak about experiences that you have. Make sure that they're current, and you want to have a reference from each one of the schools that you've either student taught or work experiences that you've worked at.
And Alyssa, if I can add to that, on my end, you know, when I'm the first one that looks through the applications, and one thing that I appreciate when candidates do is just being very open and honest about the documentation, you know, the required documents within an application. Sometimes they might not make any kind of note regarding why something is missing. And so that just makes it more difficult. So we have a really good system that allows people to upload even just a Word document or just a note that says, this is why I don't have this in particular. So we work with candidates all through the process. We, of course, always prefer that a candidate has a full application completed before they screen. But the reality is that doesn't happen sometimes. So we just, you know, we just want to know where they are, have open lines of communication, and we can work with them all the way through from the beginning when they talk to me, through the screening process, and then as they move on to the next step. So that's really important I think from my end, it makes my job easier. It makes it easier for me to know how to help them. Many of the candidates might not be in the state of Arizona. So they might have questions about the Arizona teaching certificate, which we require, or, you know, a fingerprint clearance card, where to get that. So if we know those ahead of time, we can be prepared with those resources to be able to give them and guide them so that they know what they need to do.
Great. And you kind of touched on this, but what are you looking for someone with any special credentials or practical experience?
What we're looking for is that every candidate that applies, their experience matches the job that they applied for. There are learners out there who may not have gone into education, but are looking to become teachers. So again, you can, if your practical experience matches the position you're applying for. Right. Take someone who's a coach and they want to be a PE teacher. That kind of a walkway is what I'm talking about. Or if you're, you know, do they have experience speaking a foreign language? Do they have experience in like music? So if you wanted to get to be a music teacher, make sure that your experience matches the position that you're applying to. Also, for those who are special ed teachers, or if you have, again, the online experience, that's going to be really important going forward. Is have you taken any online classes, or have you applied yourself, or have you tried to do online courses, or do use resources like, again, Google? Do you know how to do GoToMeetings? Have you had any experience in a flipped classroom? Those kind of things are going to be are going to help candidates coming up in the future.
Great, thank you. Well, what open positions do you anticipate having for this next year, whether that's jobs or even student teaching opportunities?
I can answer that. So we, as Mary said in the beginning, we have preschools all the way through high school. And so even right now, we have positions in every single grade in preschool, kinder, all the way through 8th, which right now that's our elementary schools. They're K through 8. And so there's opportunities in all grades, and also in high school. We do have a few administrator positions, and even throughout the year, we see that. We have, I'll be very specific with the topics, or I'm sorry, the categories in high school. We have algebra, geometry, business, chemistry, English, physics, Spanish, theology. We see PE quite a bit. And then obviously in elementary, we have arts, social studies, general teachers, of course, math, art, music. So school resource teachers. We do have specialist positions at some of the schools also. So
Great. So it sounds like a lot of opportunities right now.
yeah.
That's awesome. Good. So can you tell me a little bit about how your district supports beginning teachers, those that are fresh in their careers? This is their first job out of college. How are you supporting them?
We love our new teachers. We onboard them. We have a great process. The first thing that we do is we have a new teacher academy. And then we, after the first month, we bring our new teachers in and we have new teacher training. At the individual schools that they are at, not only will they have time with their principals and training, but they will also get a mentor teacher. And then we have the new teachers collaborate with other new teachers in the district so that they don't feel like they're alone or by themselves in their building. There is a lot of partnership that goes on. There is a lot of teacher talk back and forth. And then we have, as a diocese, we have 2 very large professional development days where we spend the entire day with the teachers, and they get to choose the different professional development sessions that they would like to go to. We have one in the fall and one in the spring. And then throughout the year, there'll be different PDs for the teachers to do, such as theology of the body or keynote time for the teachers. So it's a lot of collaboration between not just the diocese and our brand new teachers, but also the schools taking care of the teachers.
Great. I love hearing that from other school districts I've been talking with through these interviews. The mentorship piece is a key theme, and I know that is going to be attractive for students, especially those that are new in their careers.
Right.
So, yeah, that's great to hear that.
Okay.
Good. So how do teachers and administrators work collaboratively to solve problems and respond to student needs?
Well, every school, first of all, every school principal is unique. And so every principal has a collaborative way of working with their teachers and to help them as far as responding to problems with within student needs. Now, if you're talking about academic needs, or if you're talking about special ed, we do have a wonderful student support plan in place for our students, and every school has what we call an SSP team that helps with our students that may have learning disabilities. There's a lot of collaboration. There is between not only the principal and the teacher, but also the parents are involved in this. That is our parents, that relationship between the parent, the teacher, and the school is very important to us because, again, we look at the parents as the very first educators of their children. So making sure that our no teacher is left by themselves. They always have either the principal or the assistant principal helping them to help the students be the best that they can be, to be successful. And we also make sure that our parents are a part of that process in solving any needs or any problems between a student and their educational needs.
Great.
Mhm.
So my last question for you, on what are the prospects for future growth in your area and the schools?
Well, I think they're fabulous. First of all, we're in a very sunny state.
Mhm.
Phoenix has a very good job market, and it also has a very good economic market. You know, people from all over the country come here because it's a warm area.
Mhm.
And even with the situation we're going through right now, our state is still doing well economically. Our schools are, they're healthy. We are, you know, the Diocese of Phoenix took a can-do approach to distant learning, and we hit the ground running, and our schools are doing very well. They're very successful.
Oh, I love hearing that. That's great. Perfect. Well, those are all the questions that I have for you both this afternoon. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Alyssa.